Hello, I'm Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz, June 25, 2016 at 11:17 p.m. Birmingham. And the topic, Crispr. It's going to be on a store shelf near you soon. And it is the buzz with the science world right now. And I mean, really, really heavy discussions are going on today among those who are working behind these dark, deep doors. Used to that experiment on mice and rabbits and monkeys and things like that. Well, you know what? They're done with that. They have a new experiment going on now, and that's changing your DNA. This world changing policy, the CRISPR splicing your own DNA. What will you get if you change your DNA and then your wife changes her DNA and then you have a child? Will that child have a soul? Now, when the fallen angels, or the angels that fell, the sons of God, came down and mated with the daughters of men, their offspring didn't have souls. They're not eligible for heaven. They have to be put to death. And whether or not they'll roam forever as a spirit, I don't know. Even beyond the end of time, I kind of believe that my personal belief, I don't know, that they will be just vanished, not thrown in hell, because they didn't ask for this. They were not God's plan, but we are God's plan. With our intelligence and our given ability to make a baby with a man and a woman is God ordained, but it was not with the fallen angels. So them messing and mixing the DNA of them into women, that can't happen. That can't carry forward. And nor can it if you have a man and woman who each takes a gene splicing kit and change something about yourself. Almost certainly that if you have a child, the child won't have a soul. And I'm just telling you straight up. And but again, this is what the sons of God did. And the offspring, they aren't eligible for heaven. They have no souls. They do have demonic spirits. And all of the offspring were Rephaim. They were giants. And when they died, they have wandering spirits. Jesus cast many of them out of a lot of people. And there was one, and today we call it exorcism, because it still happens. They still rush into people. I'm going to say this, and I believe it with all my heart. I believe people like Hitler had more than one, probably hundreds of demonic spirits in him. And just as the guy in the day when Jesus walked, he asked the man, asking the spirit in the man, "Who are you?" And he said, "I'm Legion. We are many." And then, before Jesus said anything else, they said, "Have you come to punish us before our time?" So maybe there will be a punishment. It just now hit me. Maybe there will be, but maybe the punishment is simply death for them, because again, they didn't ask for it. They were created by angels. Okay, even the scientists today are calling them AIs, artificial intelligence. They are not God ordained. They did not receive a soul from God, and God is against this kind and this kind of man's creation. I mean, we're not allowed to do that. And we shouldn't be messing with uh, gene and DNA that God gave man. This was why, the very reason why the earth was flooded and everybody was killed by water, because everyone had tainted DNA, except those that went aboard the ark, and probably one of those had the tainted DNA in her, and one of the sons of one of Noah's sons' wives. And this is also the same manner in which all will receive a mark. You cannot buy or sell without the mark. The mark is of Satan. Those who take the mark cannot be saved. This is the same thing. When you mix DNA, not of God, not of His, then you've mixed your own. You've kind of created your own mark. And this is something that everyone should think about, because it's a hot subject right now among those that are doing it. And when Tom Horn came up with a Crispr kit, I mean, people were blown away by that. And they're going to have their thing in Colorado Springs in July, I think it is, that there's another introduction of a same like of maybe another type of kit, or maybe an introduction of how many different kinds of kits. Can they make you run faster? Can they make you live longer? Can they make the common cold go away? Will they have a cure for cancer? You know, will they cure Alzheimer's and all these things? Yes, they're all going to be available in these kits one day. But that's not for us to change our DNA, because changing our DNA and then implanting our DNA, which is tainted by the DNA of Satan, by the Antichrist, well, then we passed it along. It's just like giving AIDS, the deadly AIDS, to everyone, but it kills. Well, this, your eligibility for heaven is removed. You don't have the God DNA in you. It's hard to just say, look, don't take the CRISPR kit and go home and forget it. People need to know why. And I'm sure you're going to start hearing more and more of this, but I just don't know why I'm not hearing it on John Hagee or Perry Stone and all these other people that I listen to and watch. But I hear it on Prophecy in the News a little bit, not much, but I hear it all the time on Skywatch TV, and all the time on Prophecy Watchers TV, and all the time on L.A. Marzulli or Watchers TV. But I don't hear it everywhere else. You're not going to hear it from any feel-good church. You're not going to hear it from the Vatican. They're not going to tell you. But so you don't have many people warning you. And before you take it, and I'm sure there's, see why the flood came about. You have to go in, find those verses, go to the first 5 books, the Hebrew, and see the language where it was unwound and laid out where you can read it and understand it. Then you'll understand why the world was destroyed by water and why everybody had to die. The walls of Jericho, everyone that lived inside of those walls were not fully human. They had mixed DNA in them. That's why the walls of Jericho fell, because everyone in it, every man, every woman, every child, every goat, every chicken, they had to be killed. There was one person inside those walls. By the way, they were Muslim. Really. One person inside those walls did not have a mixing of her DNA. And she and God communicated. And he told her, you lay a red thread on a windowsill. And when the angel of death comes around and knocks the walls down so that everybody in the city dies at the hands of the people that he has gathered outside to kill them, they'll pass over you because they're going to see that red thread in your window. That's the blood of Christ before Christ died. That's the blood of Christ. That's going to turn white when they pass you over. And that's what he did. So one structure of all the walls of Jericho, the city inside, only one structure stood. And there was many cases. There's Sodom and Gomorrah. There's two other cities in close proximity that was destroyed as well. And the fifth city didn't get destroyed because the judge did not give them the okay at the time or soon enough to go ahead with your evil deeds of having sex with anything that walked. So they were spared. And it's all because the blood was mixed with other than God's blood. God put his blood in you. And you don't change his blood. If you change it out, then you have the blood of his arch enemy, Satan, Antichrist, the devil, the fallen angel, the most beautiful of all angels, bright morning star, full of jewels. Couldn't stand it. He wanted to be more God, so he did everything he could do to change that. Well, he couldn't change it, still can't change it. So in the process, he's going to destroy as many lives as he can by changing their DNA or just making them sin or completely turn from God altogether. Jody Wolf Expoz.